Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. It is it's somewhat pretty day here in Northwest Arkansas. It's nighttime, I suppose, 7:30. Alongside me tonight, you guys know how we do on Monday nights. We've got Travis Ford and Tim Neal. Tim, who's got the brick wall behind him. Tim, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. I'm trying to figure out this audio situation real quick. I finally heard you say my name. That's the first thing I heard you say. Tim Neal with the brick wall.
Yeah,
So
I
if
was
the
talking.
audio comes and goes, sorry, I'm doing the best I can tonight.
That works better than nothing at all. We're supposed to get Travis on later. Don't know when. But hopefully he could join us. If you know what, we're also going to leave the lines open. If anybody wants to call in, you got something to say, whatever. You know what? Let's do that. There's the link provided for you in chat. So if anyone wants to call in, please do so. We got a lot to discuss. Hold on, let me call in show. I'm going to type this out in Discord. Call in show. There we go. See, I'm gonna have to offer him XP to call in. That's how this works. What's up, Matt? How you doing, man? How's it going? Megan is here with us. Oh my goodness, it's past her bedtime and she's up.
Megan.
What's up? All right. Thero is officially out for Wednesday. This is Michael Kirk.
Oh my god.
That
doesn't bode well for the Hogs, man.
It'd be
It's
Tuesday.
not looking good.
Yeah, that'd be Tuesday night.
Yeah.
They play tomorrow night. They play Vanderbilt at 9 p.m. At the moment, I don't plan on doing a post game for that unless Arkansas gets what I would call an upset here. That's probably the only way I'll go live.
Is that 9 Eastern or is that 9 Central?
That's 9 Central.
Dang, that's late.
I'm almost positive that maybe someone could correct me, but I'm pretty sure that's 9 p.m. Central.
That is an insane basketball time for midweek games. That's just crazy. Yeah.
But the game will end Wednesday since it's so late. Oh yeah.
Yeah, well.
That's true. It's fair enough. Hey, make sure you guys like, share, hit the subscribe button. Shout out to Patreon supporters. We'll get that new list of names here in a couple of days. You guys just continue to crush it every single month. I do appreciate you. I did drop a Patreon video like literally 25 minutes ago about football, about recruiting. A certain prospect Arkansas is working on flipping. So I've got that video up. This is someone I've talked about before. I said as much. I said Arkansas is going to continue to recruit him despite the fact that he committed to an SEC rival, quote unquote. I said Arkansas, everything I understand, Arkansas staying on top of this dude. Well, they got him to do something. Go watch that Patreon video. $4 a month, man. That's it. $4 a month. And all you got to, that's it. You're going to get first access to the spring camp footage that I'm hopefully going to get. And you'll get more recruiting videos and transfer portal stuff, all of it, if you're a Patreon supporter. Also, shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than best results. 501-244-3667. Again, that's 501-244-3667. Free estimates, man. Quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than best results. They're knocking on the door of over 1,000 5-star reviews. So, Direct Service Overhead, yeah, kind of a big deal. Local company, throw them your support.
Well, that's why Travis isn't here right now, because he's out servicing somebody. So,
yeah,
he's always doing his thing.
Yeah, he's always working. He's always got something going on, man. He's a busy guy.
Yep,
as we all are. But I know it's a lot for you guys to take a little time out of your evening to come hop on here with me. So I do appreciate that. All right, yeah, 9 p.m. Central, says Michael. Yeah, 9 p.m. That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Well, maybe that works in our favor. That's something I didn't look at for Vanderbilt, is how many late games they had.
That's fair.
But, man,
good point.
I know you don't want to start with basketball, right?
We're going to start with the NFL Combine really quick.
Let's do it.
Some names that popped out Isaac Tesla had himself a day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you got a chance to see that, or if you were able to. I don't know why it's not pulling up on my screen. Here's Eric Gregory. There's what Gregory did. That's his combine number. I'm gonna have to close out some of these screens, I guess. Golly, I guess I have too many. That's why it won't share them. But there's Eric Gregory's. That's Gregory's numbers right here. 6'3", 319. Kind of, I would have expected bigger hands for someone who's 6'3", and almost right there you can see he's got a 33-inch length there on the arms. Production score 60.
Yep.
Athleticism score 68. Total score 61. He's got average. I mean, this might be good enough to get him drafted simply because he's an interior defensive lineman. He's got that size. I certainly thought he had a couple of really good games this year where he was clogging up gaps and taking on double teams. There's some of his rest of his information, his vertical jump. I mean, the stuff doesn't really. The 3-cone drill, 7.68, 20-yard shuttle, 4.97. He did bench press 225 28 times.
28 times is awesome.
That's pretty good. His 40, of course, was a 5.14, which is on par for a interior, guy that size. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see if it'll let me share Tesla. I don't know why.
Tesla's a freak, man.
Tesla's
a freak.
Here we go. He had a really good day, no doubt about it. Look, they do have his prospect grade a little lower than I thought. I don't know what all goes into that. I don't know if that. Well, maybe they'll tell us actually. Okay. It just goes based off these. Okay. Tesla is a big slot receiver whose stock might be on the rise after his performances during the Senior Bowl. Yeah, during the Senior Bowl, he caught he caught a couple of 2-point conversions.
Yeah.
He could mismatch smaller corners. But anyways, here's what. First off, 6'4", 214, that's legit. I mean, that guy, granted, he was always in pads and obviously cleats. But I'm like 6'2", 6'3", and even without his helmet on, he looked every bit the 6'4" frame that they had him listed at Arkansas. So that doesn't surprise me, his actual height. Sometimes the NFL Combine will expose you.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 10-inch. Look at that. He's got monster hands. His production score is not real great, but his athleticism score 96. 2025 Combine wide receiver rank first.
Yeah, did you dig into that at all? They said that they have kept that score since 1987.
Yeah.
He ranks as the 11th most athletic receiver since 1987.
Yeah, I saw that. That's
crazy. Yeah.
That's 40-yard dash for that size to run a mid to low 4.4 is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
39.5-inch vertical, which this does not surprise me. Does not surprise me at all. Broad jump, really good. 20-yard shuttle, pretty good there. Yep. And he bench pressed 225 17 times, which is pretty good for a wide receiver.
That's great for a wide receiver.
Yeah. So Tesla had himself a day, and now I'll say this. I don't know that if he gets drafted, he's probably still looking at like 6th or 7th round.
Sure.
I think his production is really low. While he did freak, I mean, his athleticism scores through the roof, like you mentioned, in that 40-yard dash and the broad jump is fantastic. Apparently, he did really good too in the catching drills, in the wide receiver catching drills.
Yeah.
I just don't know. From everything I've read, heard, listened to, no one really likes him to get drafted very high.
Or get drafted at all.
I don't remember where I was reading it because I was going through them and I had like 1,000 tabs opened this morning, but I'm almost positive like nobody had him drafted. And I want to say maybe one source did, but I don't remember if that was just a tweet or if that was an actual website.
I mean, for all of that, for all of the good things that he did, I assume you're going to get to Andrew Armstrong here pretty quick, and they're saying he's probably, from a rating standpoint, about 40th outside of the 7th round. So if Armstrong's not getting drafted, it's hard to believe, even with that freakish athleticism, that Tesla gets drafted.
It is. It's kind of crazy. It's like when the tall receiver that ran like a 4.37 from Arkansas last year, was that Landers? I don't remember. He dropped an insane 40 time.
Yeah.
And didn't get drafted. And if I remember right, his next gen stats on NFL were decent. They were good enough that I thought, okay, he's going to get drafted. Landers, who was a tall, not big, buff, going to hold off defenders to make a catch like Treylon Burks kind of receiver.
Right.
Didn't have the catch window or radius that Treylon Burks had, but was taller and ran a legit like 4.36 40. I thought that would be enough, but that goes to show you that the combine can only help you so much, but it's always about film and what you've done, who you did it against, and all that. As far as your on play, what you did in college.
Yeah, I feel like this year hurt some guys, and Tesla's probably one of them, because it doesn't seem like he got the opportunity to break out that he really needed.
Yeah,
over this last year.
This is the question that everyone's going to ask, and it's a legitimate question. Make sure you guys, by the way, make sure you like, share, follow me on Twitter. I post the stream every time I go live on Twitter. Make sure you go share that if you would be so kind. I'd really appreciate it. Sharing is caring. Why did Broden get the nod over Tesla? Like, that's the question. Especially,
I agree.
After Broden was dropping everything left and right. It was just I don't know. I just couldn't understand why he was in the rotation.
Even midway through the season, they didn't make a change, and that's just strange.
Yeah. I know that in camp, like I said, he was great in camp. He really looked, in my opinion, like the second best receiver out on the field. But once the lights came on, man, they were too bright for him. And it is what it is, but
was he some kind of practice player where every week they were like, okay, he had a good practice this week. He had great practice this week. He's going to break out in the game this week. Is that what it was? That he was a great practice player or something? I don't know.
Well, you hear the stories about Matt Jones, how he wasn't a good practice player.
Right.
I can remember watching spring games and wondering if like Brandon Allen was ever going to amount to anything, or Tyler Wilson. If I remember his first spring game, he came out and he didn't look great as much as they were pumping him up. And look what he did the last year, 2011, he was incredible in the Petrino system. So I think really it's just once the lights came on, they were just too big for him. I know he did have some off the field stuff, if I remember right. I think a family member got really ill or something, or maybe passed away. He probably did have some distractions, but my God, I mean, his drop numbers, according to PFF, they weren't good when he came here. So this was an ongoing issue for him. So here is Andrew Armstrong. Let me pull this up. We got, look who's here. Hey,
dude.
Travis Ford.
I go in the studio, I shag ass to get everything going. And I'm like, all right, we're going to go. Plug it in. Camera's dead. Cool. I was like, okay, I'm going to my bed. I'm going to plug in my phone, and we're just going to do it this way.
Yeah.
It's not my week, boys. Not my week. It's been a weird week.
Been a busy week for you, though, right?
Yeah.
Which could be good and bad, I guess. It's like today was just crazy for me. Like, I just was nonstop doing, looking up all this stuff for the show tonight, getting all the information I could from the combine. And then, of course, we still got basketball, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit, which I know some people they've moved on. We are going to talk baseball. So I might be a little shaky on some stuff. Had a just crazy busy day right around lunch. I was supposed to take like a nap around lunch. Couldn't do it. Wasn't in the cards for me, boys.
I did get a nap in Dallas, luckily. During the third baseball game, but I had the weirdest dream. I was dreaming about baseball.
Wow.
While I was listening to the game, it was very strange. But
Hey, by the way, you were down there when all that craziness was going on. Are you cool with talking about that for a second?
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that was it was an interesting weekend. Dude, what the hell? Yeah, it was crazy during the Razorback game where they're like locking us in a room because here's how it went. Like we weren't even supposed to compete that day, my daughter. And so we were there seeing her friend go. So I'm like, all right, no big deal. I'll watch the Razorback game on my phone. They all start pulling people in this room that's downstairs, and they're like, "Hey, everybody get in this room." And I started walking in. I seen a bunch of people. I told my wife, "Hey, I'm just gonna watch the game. Y'all go do your cheer thing." You know what I'm saying? I'm watching us lose. I'm pissed as shit already. You know.
Yeah.
And and then I look up at the stairway and I see a stampede of people running at me, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So I dart into this room, bro. And then they just lock the doors, and everybody's ducked down in the corner. There's gonna be so much therapy needed from that.
Oh my gosh. I mean, here it is. I think this is it.
Yeah,
It was,
there's
yeah,
you know
active
what's great?
shoot.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they're going on. There's gonna be a class action lawsuit on that. It's gonna be nuts.
Wow. And they showed bullet holes. I saw that picture. They showed bullet holes or something through some glass doors.
Timmy said you don't think they're bullet holes. I don't know.
Hold on a second. I gotta. So
this is crazy.
I'm not sure about the pictures that were out there. I've seen those holes in windows before, and they're about the size of a BB. I'm imagining if these guys are in Texas, they're carrying something a little bit bigger than a BB gun.
Yeah, really.
So I'm thinking a 9mm at the bare minimum, 38 or 357, and that's gonna blow a window to shreds. It's not gonna put a tiny little hole in it.
Yeah, the only they were mad thick windows. I don't know. I didn't hear any.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could say I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear any pew pews. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this is what people started sharing, was this right here. This fight.
Which was a completely weak fight anyway, by the way. I was like, this? Yeah. I actually commented on Twitter on that fight, and I was drunk. So I was like,
I mean, speaking of that fight right there, I'd go in and fight both of them together.
Yeah.
Let's go do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's go.
Like, it wasn't even a good fight, but
no.
Here's my thing is this,
clowns.
Bro. Yeah, exactly. First off, why you fighting in a cheer event?
Exactly.
But here's my thing is like, if somebody fighting like that is going to cause people to pull out their cameras and be like, look at these idiots. It's not going to cause 30,000 people to dart out of a building.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying there wasn't a gun. Maybe a gun fell out of one of their holsters.
I don't know what it was, man.
I mean, maybe it did happen, but the pictures that I saw didn't represent. And I mean, you were there, but the pictures I saw didn't represent the bullet hole I was expecting, or a shattered glass you would expect from like a serious gun. The pictures look a lot like a BB gun shot through.
So when I'm down there, I'm picturing these dudes in like tactical gear with ARs, and I'm like, oh god, you know what I'm saying? I'm tripping because we're locked in this room, and so
it is
initially we're all like in the back corner, tucked in the wall, and I'm like leaned down, and I was like, nah, I ain't going out like this. If they come in that door, they're just gonna fry us.
Yeah.
So me and these 4 dudes line up against the wall to where if somebody was to come there, we're like, yeah, we're going to do something. We're going to be the Pennsylvania one. We're going to be the Pennsylvania flight. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it was crazy, bro.
That all happened like right when during the game, and we talked about in the post game for a little bit, so it's good that obviously you guys nobody was harmed, or you weren't harmed, you and your family. Trey Biddy's family was down there.
Yeah, I actually tweeted him and I was like, hey, I'm here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, apparently they weren't even at the cheer event that day. So he didn't.
Yeah, which is good.
I guess he didn't get to see the chaos. All right. Here's Andrew Armstrong really quick, getting back to the NFL draft. Here's what Armstrong did. He also had he had a pretty decent day. Not great. His 40-yard dash. I mean, I remember people in chat telling me that he's a sub 4.4 guy. And
he ran a 4.5,
4.51.
Actually,
That's not bad.
No,
That's
actually,
not...
what I read is he actually shaved tenths off. That he was a 4.6 guy before the combine, and he shaved it down to 4.53, 4.52, 4.51,
Yeah.
which was a great improvement for him. Is what I was reading earlier today.
It's always difficult to say until you get laser timed. I mean, those hand times are just so wildly inaccurate when compared to laser. So
I swear to God,
they
I
said
swear to God, I've seen some linebackers running 4.5s and 4.6s though.
Yeah.
Well, they said
Sometimes.
in one of the news articles that I was reading about him, they said that he went in with a goal of breaking 4.6. So
okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, well, 4.51 was great then.
Yeah, they said to get low 4.5s, they felt like he bumped his stock, but not enough to get drafted. And that's where I was telling you earlier. They said he's about 40 out, but he's considered a sleeper to get drafted in a late round. But he's about 40 out if you were to rank him.
I think he'll be a good free agent pickup. Just with the way the team went and the way the year went, he's gonna get slept on. Not that I don't think he deserves to be drafted, because I think whoever gets him is gonna get a steal. But
yeah,
because he's got hands, man. But so did Burks, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, eesh. And
I think he's going to be a fit kind of guy. I think he's going to have to fit into a particular type of offense.
Yeah.
I don't see him as someone who's going to come in and 50 catches his rookie. It depends on where he's
number one.
Say what?
He's not a number one.
Yeah, he's not. He's not. He's a 3 or a 4. Again, I think he's a system receiver.
He's a Juju Smith-Schuster kind of guy.
Well, I'd love to see him go somewhere where they toss the ball downfield. I mean, I saw that graphic where he led all receivers in contested man-to-man coverage receptions, according to PFF. So, like, that's something we talked about. That's something I talked about last spring. Was he is so difficult to force incompletions. Like, it's all about timing for safeties and corners. When you pop that receiver, it's right when he gets that ball in his hands. That never really seemed to matter with a guy like Andrew Armstrong. Oh, we lost Travis. But that never seemed to matter. Like he would catch those kind of ball. Oh, there he is. He's
back.
My bad. I clicked. I never do this on my phone ever.
Yeah, it's easy. It's easy to hang out. But I really believe that, like, if he gets drafted, great for him. I hope that he does. He's a good. I mean, I've met him. He's a good kid. Hell, I can't wait to see him at the next level. I think he will play. I think he will. He's good enough to make a roster. From that point on, it's just going to be on him. He's got to get the right fit, the right offense with the right quarterback, and he could have a pretty good long career.
Put him in Buffalo.
Hey, guys, I just got a text and I've got to take care of a family thing, but I want to say something before I do. This doesn't make me happy seeing all of these things happening for these Hogs. It makes me happy for them. It doesn't make me happy overall as a fan, because I'm looking at Tesla's freak athleticism. You're about to talk about Landon Jackson, and I guarantee you're going to talk about that vertical, that broad jump, and that speed. All three of those things are huge for him. He's projected, I think, the 10th pick in the second round. 10th or 11th pick in the second round. You look at Armstrong's increase in speed and all these things, and all it says to me is we had so much talent and we underutilized it and didn't live up to the potential that we had.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah,
I mean, just watching these guys in the combine, and it's like, wow, how did we not live up to that? But I am really happy for all of them. I hope a lot of success for all of them. But I have just gotten a text and I'm gonna have to step away. I'll try to get back as quick as I can. But just in case.
I got this, bro.
Quick family thing I gotta take care of, and I will jump back in here if I can.
Okay.
Right, Ty, are we the worst co-hosts of all time or what?
Yeah, reliability is
sketch.
I'd give you about 2 stars on your recruiting, 2-star on your reliability. But once you guys get on the field, though, the performance is there. It's great. It's just, do they show up to class? Or
you got to get us. You got to get us to the gym, and then we'll work out. You know what I mean? Like, this is half the battle. You know.
So addressing this really quick, his pro day can help him too. I'll tell you this much. Pro days don't have the kind of effect that I think they once did. It's not to say it can't help them. From what I understand, and man, I'd love to talk to one of those scouts because I'm planning on being there for Arkansas's pro day, which will be in the middle of March, I think. And those scouts are everywhere, man. I mean, they're everywhere. It's crazy. And there's going to be a lot of them there this year too, especially when you got Landon Jackson, who I'm assuming is going to participate. I want to pull one of them aside so bad and be like, hey, how much does this really help someone's draft stock? Like doing this?
That's a fair question though. And then also like with Landon doing all these crazy numbers, like he got double teamed a lot this year. I think it hurt Landon not having anyone of his caliber, anyone else of his caliber on the D line. You know what I mean?
Well, and it doesn't help.
He was a target every game.
It doesn't help that they ran quite a bit of a 3-man front. He's a 4 down lineman defensive end. That's what he is. And I'm about to say a completely different name and a guy that's a Hall of Famer and the guy whose jersey I own, Aaron Donald, was a 3. I mean, you could put him in any mixed front you wanted to. He's either going to split double teams, or when you put him next to someone like Sue, who was there when the Rams won the Super Bowl, you remember him, Heisman contender from Nebraska, like he just could dominate. If it was ever man on man, if it was a left tackle versus Aaron Donald or a left guard or whatever, if you want to move him inside, good luck. Jackson is like the opposite of Aaron Donald. He's either going to absorb double teams outside. He's really good against the run. I saw him peel off blocks to get to the runner as quick as any player on defense. Like, I was really impressed with his ability to chase down a ball carrier out in the flats. I mean, he could do it. He was athletic enough, but he's not a 3-down lineman guy. Maybe he'll become one. I don't know. You see stuff like that happen every once in a while, but he strikes me as a 4-3 or a 4-2 nickel D end. And I think that's what he is. And I don't think Arkansas ever had the depth, or like you said, the talent around him to actually be able to do that. But his numbers, Tim already pointed it out, did himself a favor. Not a bad 40 at all for someone who's 6'6", 264 pounds.
Did I see right that they have him ranked as the number 1 edge?
They have his athleticism score ranked as the second highest.
Okay.
This year. But his total,
that's combine here and there in the hotel lobby or hotel bar.
Yeah. His vertical jump was insane, 41 inches. He's got an arm length there. You see the arm length. That's pretty good. I mean, that's part of what, you get those longer defensive ends with long arms, those knuckle dragging arms, could be a legitimate problem in the NFL. He's got a long body. I think one of the criticisms is he doesn't bend real well. He's just really a blunt force, weapon out on the defense, outside the tackle. Like, he's going to either absorb double teams or, he's going to give a tackle one-on-one, problems. I wonder, like, Drew Sanders, you remember how highly recruited he was? A little bit different player, kind of a different position depending on the defense. Drew Sanders didn't really get a chance to play all year, and then he finally does, and he gets a sack. Maybe he has that kind of career and has that kind of impact. I don't know. His score is pretty good, though. Will eventually be a plus starter. That's his score, 6.35.
Somebody put the old video of him, the slapping one that everybody laughed about, and then a modern one next to each other. He got so damn big in college, dude.
Yeah, it obviously did him a lot of good. I mean, and he had to come back. He had to come back last year. And this is one of those examples where, like, coming back is going to help him. He's not going to be a first rounder, but he's probably, I mean, I don't know. I hate guessing on draft picks because you never know. They trade their picks, and then every team's different with their wants and needs, but he could be a legit second or third round draft pick. He's going to make some money.
I can see that.
Almost a 41-inch vertical jump, a 10-9 broad jump. I mean, just crazy. So good for him, man. And then did we already talk about Gregory? Yeah. The only other one that I think didn't do himself any favors, I don't have it pulled up in front of me, but it's Jaquindon Jackson.
How
He
did
didn't
he
run
do?
the
I didn't see anything about his combine.
he didn't run the 40, didn't do his 10-yard split, didn't do the bench press, which I kind of thought for someone his size, who's probably going to be looked at as more of a power back in the NFL.
So why did he go?
Yeah, 6'1", 230 pounds. His prospect grade is not – it's average.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, someone might roll the dice on a big physical back, but these type of running backs just seem to be like they're, I don't know, they're a dime a dozen in free agency. I mean, they're kind of everywhere. And I think
I don't understand the motive of to go to a combine and not do anything. It's like going to a job fair and just eating nachos and they're like, we're out of here.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's weird to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck to all of them. I mean, maybe we're wrong and they all get drafted. If I had to bet, I would say at the most they end up getting 2 guys drafted.
That'd probably be accurate from my standpoint. I think it'll be. I think Tesla might go before Bands does, man. Being rated that high, what do you think?
Who was it?
Tesla. I think he'll go before Drew does.
He might. I think, there's going to be a production, like what did he do in college debate with him. Mm-hmm. There's not a ton of film on him. I mean, he did himself a favor at the Senior Bowl. No doubt he did himself a favor going to that. And then the combine has been great for him. I might change it to 3, but I don't know. Like Tim said, like Andrew Armstrong may not get drafted. And if you're not taking Andrew Armstrong, what are the odds that they take Tesla? Now, someone asked me a really interesting question. Ty, considering the cap space and what's going on with the Rams, we know Cooper Kupp's being shopped around. Stafford's coming back. Would you take Tesla or Andrew Armstrong? And they are going to take a receiver. They're going to take maybe 2 receivers in the draft. It's a possibility. But I would probably vote like, let's look around first. I hate to say that.
I think if they pick them up, I think they'll pick them up late. Really.
Late. If they're there late, but me being a diehard Rams fan, I don't know that these 2, because and the whole thing started because someone said, "Oh, well, Tesla's going to be the next Cooper Kupp." I was like,
right.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's just, the only question I have about Tesla is, was he limited by the offense or was he limiting the offense? You know what I mean? Which side was hurting who? But him shining at the Senior Bowl and at the combine, it goes, it's such a mixed deal, man. You're like, damn, were we holding him back?
I thought he was good enough. And I mean, we only get to see so much. We get to see a little bit of fastball and all that, and one-on-one drills and everything. Tesla is like, I think both these guys are capable, and I don't want anyone to get it twisted. I think both these guys are capable of playing on Sunday. I just, I'm a realist when it comes to the Rams or when it comes to my teams. I'm going to be a realist. I wouldn't have a problem for them going after someone like Andrew Armstrong if he's there, in the 5th or 6th round. I wouldn't have a problem with it, depending on the availability of some other receivers.
Yeah, the translation to pro ball is so different too, because you had Traylon Burks was a absolute superstar here, and then went to the league and it just didn't work.
Yeah,
and so maybe with Tesla or Drew, they go there and they really shine, but Drew kind of falls in the same cloth as a Traylon Burks here. What we did for him really, really worked. He's got to get with that right team, like you said, like the fit. If he doesn't get with the right team, then he looks like a bum.
Yeah.
So it kind of sucks. I don't know. I don't know who has more potential. The only thing I could see, the only reason I thought Tesla might go is based on potential. Them going, all right, everything else, he's checking every box except in college. It was kind of weird. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they both have potential. And I mean, when you get this far, a lot of guys do, and that's the thing. Like, everyone's got potential. It's about fit. It's about the dynamics of the NFL and how much different it is. And I don't know, man. The guy, obviously, there's no doubt who's going to get drafted. We say that, who knows? But Landon Jackson, we know. I feel pretty good. This guy's going to make some money. So good for him coming back. It was a smart decision. I wish more kids would do this. Consider the options, weigh it out. Now with the NIL and all this, like, look, man, you don't have to bolt for the next best of what you believe to be the next best thing. The grass isn't always greener. Stick it out, get developed, and help your game and help your wallet while you're at it. All right.
Yep.
Let's get into some baseball talk here really quick. I know my audience not really that into, like, talking baseball is not really their thing. So we'll make it quick on the baseball, and then we'll dive right into
talk about the sports we're good at,
I know. Well, it's
it's not everybody's cup of tea.
It's probably not helpful that I don't do anything for it, and I never really have, other than postseason play. I would go live after
I bandwagoned my way into becoming a baseball fan. Like, the first year I watched him is when we were about to win the national championship.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And I was like,
well, that brought a lot of people in.
Baseball's
though, right?
pretty cool.
That brought a lot of people in, and then the standard changed. Even after that game, the standard changed. I think that had to do with the new kind of, and I'm not saying you're in this group. I'm just saying from my observation, whether it be on Twitter, even my live chat or Discord, Tusk Talk Discord, or even the 1,500 Razorback Facebook groups, it seemed like it brought in a new caliber of fan who has unbelievably high expectations, and that what happened, that they're going to just be right back and they're going to be back to win it.
Well, if they came in the time I did, I get that would kind of make sense, because they're going, well, if they were there last year,
yeah,
it. And now I watch every freaking game.
I am of the belief that getting to Omaha is one of the most difficult things to do, but it's almost like these programs, like when South Carolina won the title back to back, or Tennessee going to Omaha now as often as they are. Like, what? That's what happens when you got Vitello.
Tennessee winning the damn thing.
Yeah. But it's like catching lightning in a bottle. You'll see teams do it, and then they're there like every year, and then they either don't win it all or they just don't go back. And that, I am wondering if Dave Van Horn is on that other end of his career where the expectations were there. And I know he went when he played it, when he coached at Nebraska, he went to Omaha. So it's not like, he just went a couple times and that's it. The guy's been a lot, especially at Arkansas, all of them except one. He got to Omaha at Arkansas. But, like, I kind of wonder if he's not on the other side of that hill where, we're going to Omaha, we're going to Omaha, we're going to Omaha. Okay, now we can't get out of our own regional. We can't get out of our own regional.
I hope 2 years in a row now, I think, right?
2 years in a row, yeah. They couldn't get out of their own regional. I hope that isn't the trend, and they got it. They've got to get to Omaha this year, man. They've got to do it to shake that feeling, and I think some of his players know it. The guys that have been here for a little bit, like McIntyre out of the bullpen.
They got a pretty loaded team this year, man.
They're loaded every year. Every year, this is one of the top 3 rosters in college baseball. And they just, I don't know, it's just it's a different kind of sport. It's like you can have the best talent, but that doesn't mean a damn thing if you're getting hot, in May, and all of a sudden you're on like an 8-game winning streak and you're going into your conference tournament, or 10-game win streak, or you're winning 8 out of your 10 or 9 out of 10, and you're batting like crazy, you're getting on base, your bullpen's dialed in, like, that's all it takes. And that's a good example was NC State when they eliminated Arkansas several years ago. TCU, to be fair, kind of had Arkansas's number. They punched Arkansas out of they beat them in the Texas tournament that same year down there, and then they knocked them out of they beat them in the regional a couple years ago. But, like, I don't know, it just never really seems like Arkansas's that hot team in May. Like, they're good and they're consistent, but they just can't piece it all together, and they can't get hot at the right time.
Seems like the last couple of years, it's really been our bats. That's why John Hogs hates Nate Thompson so much.
Nasty Nate.
Yeah.
He doesn't like Nasty Nate.
They're really, from what I've seen I've seen every game except one this year so far. And when it's crunch time, they're turning it up. They're certainly playing to the competition. Like, if they're that first Charlotte game, I was like, oh God, we're cooked.
Yeah, and
then
those games are going to happen.
Yeah,
and Arkansas came back, had that big single inning. The clutch hitting has been there. I mean, the
Was
timely
it 10
hitting.
runs in one inning?
Yeah.
That was absolutely insane.
Clutch hitting has been there for Arkansas this year. I don't know that the bats are the problem. And I know, like, there's some people who move the goalposts when it comes to Nasty Nate. But I don't think this year so far. Now, once you get into conference play, that's going to be a different conversation. Anyways, let's get to really quick what happened this weekend. They went 3-0. Arkansas improves to 10-1. They got the sweep in dramatic fashion in game 3. Parker Coyle, a damn nice top of the 8th in game 3, where he threw 9 pitches for 9 strikes out of 9 pitches. Incredible. And Arkansas hitting the ball. I mean, you got the Aloy brothers, who are smacking the shit out of the ball.
Those dudes are awesome. They're fun to watch, man.
They are. The younger one, Kuhio, I can't say his name.
I don't know.
The younger Aloy brother that they got out of the portal, he's batting right now at 5.56. His on base is 636, which is just, that's crazy. And his slugging percentage is 1.185. I mean, this is crazy, man. That's 27 at bats. So we're not talking about a DH only with like 10 at bats, right? And typically, the more at bats you get, your numbers, your batting average is going to come down. Your on base is going to come down. Your slugging percentage is going to come down. And it's not. Like, the younger Aloy brother is killing it right now. Like, if you want to watch a potential difference maker in baseball, we might be seeing one in the younger Aloy brother. Now, we've seen this before too, where a guy gets red hot, knocks out 5-6 homers before conference play. He's batting, maybe above 350, 375, which is pretty good. This guy's batting way above that. And then all of a sudden conference play comes along and they just go cold. That could happen. But right now, if you want to go watch some pretty good hitting, Arkansas so far, knock on wood, has done that for the most part. Now, scoring might be a little bit different. They have left a few guys on base, and got to get in scoring position, and then just start moving bases. But I've been pretty.
You see Gackle eat it in the first game? Holy crap!
Yeah, Gackle is not having the Gackle right now.
That was a rough game, dude.
Dude, he is he's struggling. His ERA right now is 7.24. That's that's pretty bad.
Not awesome.
13 innings pitched. So 13 innings and 2 outs pitched for him. So yeah, not awesome. Got to get that figured out. Arkansas's got who the hell do they play next? They play tomorrow.
I'm afraid to check the schedule because I'll like.
Yeah, you'll back. I'm looking. It's ULM. That's right. It's ULM.
They're a pretty good ball team, aren't they? Like historically,
I think historically, yeah, they're pretty good. I don't know about this year, but they've got them on Tuesday and Wednesday. I love 2-game midweek series, man. I love it. And then Friday, they're going to start their 3-game series against Portland. And then next week, they take on UCA, and then they're off to Oxford, Mississippi to take on Ole Miss on the 14th. 6:30.
Boy, that comes quick.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hogs. Arkansas is simply cursing all sports. Hey, guys, do me a favor, man. Share the content, get it out. I appreciate everyone who's here. Would do us a solid. Make sure you check out all the links provided for you down below as well.
Yeah, we're not even talking about basketball either.
Say what?
Smile, boys and girls. I said we're not even talking about basketball. Y'all smile.
Well, we're about to.
I know.
I wanted Tim's take on this. Arkansas. So we've got Vandy coming up, and the debate right now is, so Arkansas obviously a bubble. They're a bubble team. They're 11 seed according to Palm. Palm released his today over on CBS Sports. And of course you'll get Lenardi's later. There's a bunch. I don't just look at one or two. I look at all the analytics that I can find, and he still likes Arkansas to get in. We know that the selection committee does consider net. I don't think it's a lot, but they do consider net ranking. They do consider your strength of schedule. They do take a lot into consideration, your losses and your quad one wins. Travis, Arkansas right now is they dropped back a little more than I thought they would. I thought they would drop to like 45, 46. They dropped back to 47, which isn't a big dip. They're 17.
Dude, that was a pretty bad loss, man.
It was for sure.
Because they're quad 2, right?
That was a quad 2, yeah. But Arkansas on the year is 4-9 in quad 1 games. And by the way, they have Texas right in front of Arkansas with the exact same amount of quad wins. Like from what I gather, Arkansas has to, like, all these other things aside, the net ranking, your strength of schedule, all of that, quad 1 wins. And I was trying to do as much research over the last 24 hours as I could on like just what the selection committee does and kind of their habits. And the more I look into it, it really does look like, and I'm just going to admit it right here, I've said for about 5 weeks, trying to think, going back to the when Arkansas kind of turned it around a little bit before then, but they picked up their first SEC win before February. And I think I said at the time, I know what I said. I said 7's probably going to end up being the magic number for them to get in based on their net ranking and based on who they have left and who I think they can beat. And they have gobbled up some more quad 1 wins. The question is it enough, Travis? And I was of the mindset for several weeks that 7 was going to be in. Now I'm just pulling out entirely. I have no idea what it's going to take to get into the tournament. I mean, to be fair,
I think they need to win out, dude.
To be fair, and you might be right, the bubble teams, they aren't as strong. Like, this is not a good group of bubble teams based on, you know, who's out there, right? Who's in that slot. You know, Baylor, Xavier, Boise State, so on and so forth. It's not a super strong group. What I do like is that Arkansas has swept one of those other teams that was considered a bubble team for a while in Texas. They do have a win. They do have a win on a neutral floor versus a quad 1. They do have wins on the road that at the time were quad 1s. We know that's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be viewed a little bit differently by the time the conference tournament's over with. But I like, they have the strength of schedule or the conference reputation, which is going to play into some of this too, I think. But the strength of schedule is going to matter. And your amount of quad 1s, I have no idea anymore. I don't know. I really thought 7 would be it. But 7 of these SEC wins, not quad games. I really thought 7 SEC games would be it. I don't know anymore. I have no idea. It may not even be 8. It may be you have to win the next 2 and then win a couple more games in the tournament.
I was thinking at least if they don't win out, they at least got to win a couple games in the tournament.
I think that's fair.
The Vandy game is going to be tough. That's a tough playing at Vandy, bouncing back after getting your ass whooped.
Yeah.
At South Carolina, that's going to be a tough one. They might surprise us. I'll be surprised if we win that one, but I think Mississippi State's a little more gettable because they're a less predictable team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're kind of up and down too.
They're nasty. Like, yeah, that's going to be a tough one. They'll get you down in the dirt. They're one of those kind of teams. They're kind of like A&M in some ways. They're going to get you down in the dirt. They're going to get you off your game offensively. Mississippi State's going to be tough too. I mean, there are no easy games. And
I'm curious what the answers they come up with as to what happened when they were just isolating them in the paint the whole game.
Are you talking about South Carolina when they were?
What South Carolina did to them? How the hell do you figure out everybody's going to do that to them now?
Yeah, Noah Duthero.
Again, he's out again this week.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be back.
No. Oh, really?
I don't think so.
Sucks. Damn.
And I think that's why we haven't heard anything. You know, he went to California to get reevaluated or a second opinion or whatever, and we still haven't heard anything. And there's the debate about how much the selection committee might actually take that into consideration. If he's out, they don't want the selection committee to know. I'm not saying I've heard anything because I haven't. I don't know if he's.
They're going to Florida State us, man.
I'm sorry.
They're going to Florida State us. You know. Like when Florida State gets quarterbacks out. They're out.
Yeah. Or Texas A&M a couple of years ago when I always think about that. A couple of years ago when they went on that deep SEC run, I don't remember what their net ranking was, but they still got left out. That was different. Like the conference was not as strong. You know, I don't remember their quad one, like how many quad one games they had. I don't think their non-conference schedule was very good. I think they start off really bad even before conference play, unlike Arkansas. But yeah, I don't know. Adu Thero, something's weird about that. I maybe if here's the thing. Adu Thero is a freaking monster. We've seen him deal with injuries on the floor before. Now I know this is different, right? With the
he has the knee, right?
Yeah, the hyperextended knee, if that's what
Him
it is.
and Billy are the only two real dogs on the team. And so when you lose one of them, it's a big deal.
When we all know if he was able to kind of, I don't want to say walk it off, if he was able to play in that game versus South Carolina, I think he would have played if he was available. And I think the same thing can be said about tomorrow night, and he's not playing. So I think it's probably a pretty severe hyperextension. And I don't think he's going to be back. I really don't. So I hope I'm wrong. Now, this conversation changes if Arkansas splits one of these last two and then they win one or two games in the tournament.Maybe that's enough to get him in, and then maybe he could come back. You know, I'm not saying that it's like a season-ending injury. I just think, you know, I guess the hope is he's got to be ready to go for SEC play. And I think that you have to show, and that's why tomorrow night is so big, man. That's why tomorrow night at Vanderbilt is so important.
What time's tip off tomorrow?
9 p.m.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I can't make up my mind. I've been telling my wife I'm not doing a post game for it. That's just too late. But if Arkansas wins, I'm going to be obligated to. I'm going to have to do a post game for that if they win.
We should do one in Discord so we can speak freely.
I'm gonna take the War Machine. You know, he only posts highlights when they win. I think I'm gonna take that approach with the Vanderbilt game. If they win, then I'm definitely gonna be live for it. But yeah, I don't know. I hope I'm wrong about Adu Thero. I just feel like if he were available, even if it was just an injury that he could maybe just play but get reduced minutes, I feel like he'd be out there. And the fact that he's, you know, he's not going to travel. And actually, I think they should have left tonight. So we should know something if he traveled. And I don't even know that he's back from California. I have no idea. I've not heard anything. I don't know. But
I'm just over here sitting. I'm sitting over here going, I wonder what next year's team's going to look like.
I kind of think, yeah, if he's not available, I just don't think Arkansas gets in. I think, and again, I know, and there still are some people who believe, and you know, talking to people who gamble on this stuff and have followed college basketball and you know, all this, you know, the March Madness stuff for decades, for going back to the, you know, early 90s, late 80s. And some of them are like, no, I think they're in because of their net and just because of how strong the conference was this year. And I'm like, man, I don't know. I thought that too. But the more you look into it, it's like, you know, I don't know. Florida got bumped off on CBS as one of the 1 seeds. Maybe the SEC's reputation starting to wane a little bit. Now, that wasn't surprising because the 1 seeds are already kind of razor thin anyways.
Yeah.
So, you know, that wasn't surprising, and they're not going to. The SEC's not going to have. I'd be shocked they get 3 teams hosting, or
it just
excuse
sucks
me,
because
three
I'm
teams.
like, I'm sitting here going, man, I hope they don't got to play to get in. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because it's just like that's just one extra game.
Yeah,
that we got to friggin' play. It's like if you're going to get in definitively.
Yeah,
and don't have to. Oh, those are the words. You never want to be one of them split teams on the bracket.
Yeah.
You know, like
well, they need to.
them,
they just take care of business, but it's going to be difficult with the 7-man rotation. Vanderbilt's going to be an interesting matchup for Arkansas. I mean, I don't know, Travis. What do you think? You think they have a shot here? Do you feel?
I think they have a shot, but I'm so not to bring it back up, but we were in lockdown whenever. Did Cal put a walk-on in during the game?
Yeah. What's his name played?
Akua or something.
Yeah.
I think I saw that on Twitter, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "He must be pissed at them."
It's Jaden Karalatua or whatever.
Yeah, it was a weird last name.
He got 2 minutes.
Okay. I mean, he must have been giving somebody a breather then.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. So who we got left? We got John LZ,
Wagner
Adu,
and
Wagner.
yeah.
God, if Adu would just put his big boy pants on for one damn game.
Mhm.
Be that physical big in the middle. Holy crap.
Well, he actually played a pretty good game against South Carolina.
I didn't see a lot of the game, dude.
He had a double double against South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
10 points.
I didn't know that. That's awesome. In our worst game of the year, he does good.
Yeah, 10 points, 10 boards, 4 offensive rebounds, 0 turnovers.
I missed like the whole second half, basically. I just kind of score checked from there because shit got real.
Yeah, for sure. 0 turnovers in 26 minutes. That's not bad. The starting 5, like everybody played a minimum of 24 to 25 minutes. Javon Brazil got 26 minutes. Of course, he was rotating in and out with Jonas Adu. Nelly Davis got 31. Carter Knox got 35. Definitely, like Cal said, just put this game behind them, burn the tape. That's what they're going to do with the South Carolina game. They have to put their big boy pants on and get ready to play through some. I mean, listen, man, I had someone in my last live who just kept commenting, after the live. He's in the comment section, not in the live chat. And he's like, oh, that's an excuse. It's an excuse. It's an excuse. Talking about the how many minutes these guys are playing and how they just got out of a game that went into overtime before they played South Carolina.
Playing the same 11 players on offense.
Exactly.
For a whole football season.
Well, same 7. Yeah.
No, I said same 11, right? For a whole football game.
Oh yeah,
you know
exactly.
I mean? Come on, bro.
Yeah,
there's no excuse. It's the damn truth. It's just what we have. So losing Boogie hurts way more than I ever anticipated it hurting. I knew it was going to suck for sure, but then when other players start going down, you're just like, oh God, we are screwed.
Well, again, when you've got that, the depth chart. I mean, they just don't have it. And losing just. Remember at the beginning of the year, it was guys weren't healthy. Nelly couldn't play because of the wrist. Brazil was still a little dinged up. I think Adu Thero in those first few games was playing through an injury, if I remember right. Maybe I'm getting that twisted.
He certainly didn't show it as much as they did.
Right.
That's
because he's just a dog. I mean, he's tough and he plays through it. But like they've never been able to get over the injury bug this year. And when they did kind of figure it out with DJ Wagner playing the point shortly after Boogie Flan was out, we saw a switch in this team. And then it's just, I don't know. I mean, since the Georgia game, you could see the switch, even though they would lose to Oklahoma, and then they beat Texas and Kentucky on the road. They came back against Alabama, made that a hell of a game. Uh-oh. I think we lost.
Hello. Oh, my mom called. I just shady button there. Hope she's not
okay.
Hey, am I crazy or does DJ still seem a little uncomfortable being the point?
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, that's kind of his. That's. I think he knew he was going to eventually do that. He was going to end up playing the point. He didn't exactly go off. In fact, he didn't have any. It was Carter Knox who had the assist. Carter Knox had a hell of a game, actually. 5 assists.
I need to rewatch the game, dude.
11 points, 5 assists. I don't know. I mean, there's some games where Wagner just seems like the offense is different and more guys are able to kind of, they found themselves with Wagner at the point. A little bit different, fair. Actually, a lot different compared to when they had Boogie at point. But maybe I don't know. I think he's a natural, probably a natural 2 or a good combo guard. He can do the 1 and the 2. But I don't know. Like it feels like right now. This is what I mean when I say, like, I really think that the stamina, like these guys are just worn the hell out.
Mm-hmm. No, they are. The season's wearing on them, man. SEC plays physical ball, dude. Very physical. And that South Carolina defense was smothering them.
Yeah.
Which, to me, there was points where I was like, really, dude? But...
I mean, they're not they give up like 72 points a game or something on the year. I mean, they just got, South Carolina got absolutely curb stomped against Missouri before they played Arkansas, 101-71. I mean, it's just, I think it was just a perfect storm in this game. I really do. So moving on to Huh?
I was, yeah, we were due one. We were due an ass whooping, I guess.
Yeah. Well, 6-10 in conference play. A lot of pressure on them for these last 2 games, as we knew there would be. I don't know. Everyone else is ready to move on to something else. I'm like, you know what? Spring football is here. You know,
Yeah, right.
like I'm excited. Even if I, if I'm probably going to miss some spring camp, but I'm going to be there. I think.
You going to the spring game?
Spring practice.
No, are you going to go to the spring game?
Oh, probably.
I'm going to go if I'm still here. I might go anyway. I'm going.
Well, listen, there's a potential this might be the last year they do it.
I was wondering if they would cut it this year just because of all the poaching like these other teams are doing. I wouldn't even have been mad at it. I'd be like, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I hate it because I think it's good for the fans. I understand it, and I don't think they can facilitate. You got to pay everyone, and there's no charge to get in. I don't think they can charge. I think there's.
I don't think I've ever paid for one. I've been to quite a few.
I think that's an NCAA rule. I could be wrong about that, or maybe it's an unwritten rule. I don't know, but I get it. Like if they can't financially, if they just don't want to do it, and they want to write it off as a loss or whatever. But I think it's good for the fans. It's an opportunity. Like I still, some of my favorite Razorback memories are going to spring games and getting a chance to see guys like Ryan Mallett for the first time, Tyler Wilson.
I remember the first time I went and I seen Chad Morris's offense and Cole Kelly was the quarterback. And I was like, man, this is crazy. Arkansas's moving with some tempo. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Right.
Little did I know, bro. Holy crap.
Yeah, you can only take so much from a spring game. I've been telling people that for years. Like, listen, hold on. You got to take it all in. You got to see what they did during spring camp, and then see if they applied it in spring in the scrimmages, and then see what they carry over in the fall. And you can get a pretty good idea of just like the depth of what they have to work with, the depth chart. You'll get a pretty good feel for who the ballers are, and but then there's the Broden effect, right? Like that guy was a practice champion.
Old Broden.
And then,
boy, gonna be a stonemason now.
Yeah. Couldn't do anything once the lights came on, like we talked about earlier. Tim and I were talking about, like, there is that effect too. But you know what? Everything else, I feel like what I saw in spring camp for the most part, I was critical of the offensive line. I was critical of the secondary. I thought Green could be a playmaker, but I had no idea he was going to fumble the ball as often as he did.
I had the highest hopes on the planet for Green. I was like, he's going to be awesome.
Well, yeah, it's easy to do. It is.
Well,
it's
I didn't watch any footage or anything. I was just like, he's going to be great. It's going to be good.
Yeah, I really don't think he was as bad as people think. He wasn't. He had 3,800 total yards of offense the first year in a Petrino offense.
There was other factors limiting him as well. Let's say that.
Well, offensive line.
Yeah.
Receivers dropping the ball.
Yep, receivers not getting open.
Yeah. Well, no, according to Twitter.
He was terrible at getting open, man, for the most part.
According to social media and Discord, oh, well, so-and-so was running down the field open all the time, so I don't know what the hell. And
every play, there's somebody running wide open, dude.
Well, and listen, Matt Stafford, probably one of the, if he's going to be in the Ram jersey again next year. He's a top 10 quarterback in the league. You don't have the kind of success that he's had, especially with all the receivers they had banged up last year, and they still were able to, they kind of got their offense figured out once they got healthy. They got Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp back on the field, and they got a little bit. Of course, their offensive line was banged up all year, but like once everything kind of came together, Stafford was still missing guys wide open downfield. It happens. Like you're not gonna always be spot on. It was an issue with Green. There were times where it's like, God dang, man. There's I saw Luke Has run like a slant or kind of a quick slant route from the tight end spot. It wasn't lined up or anything, and Green just kept running and refused to throw it to him and throws it downfield and misses a guy by like 15 yards.
Dude, you ever been playing catch? I was playing catch with my son earlier, right? We were showing our house. That was all the rigmarole for the night. But so we're playing catch, and I let go up here instead of here. And I was like, oh, shit, that sucked. Like, that happens, bro. I'm just saying. You're going to have bad throws and be like, oh, shit, my bad.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It should be perfect. Even the greats, they're going to miss guys. And I agree that, like, Green, there was a while there where like he wasn't hitting guys in in the middle of the route where they could just run with the ball. He wasn't hitting them in stride. He was missing receivers, but God, I watched Jackson Dart play this year, and you know what Ole Miss fans were saying about him after a loss or two. I mean, they called him overrated and how he could only do anything good against bad teams and so on and so forth. So like,
I would hate to be a college athlete in the modern day.
Social media has made everybody experts.
Hey,
everybody's an expert.
Did you see that Texas A&M baseball player the other day? He put out this long note to their fan base, I guess, because they've just been tearing them up because they're on like a 6-game losing streak or something. One of the baseball players was like, "Yo, we're gonna make mistakes. We're mad too. Blah blah blah. Like, y'all need to chill out." And I was like, "Damn that." And then the people are just gonna blast him for doing that.
Yeah, it's not a good idea to respond to fans. It's usually just not a good idea. I wouldn't do it. But yeah, I mean, today it's a different world. I mean, everybody knows more than everybody, it just, it is what it is. Sometimes you got to laugh at it. Like, all right, man. Okay. Taylor Green, I guess the most garbage ass quarterback to ever walk the earth. Okay. You're right. Never mind.
You should have seen the people tweeting about that cheer thing that we were at. We were there. And people are like, that didn't happen. I'm like, you weren't even there.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What are you doing?
It's crazy.
Social media is such bullshit, bro.
Well, believe me, I hear things when I'm at camp, and I'm not going to name names, but I hear things that are like, bro, what? Like, like, no, that didn't happen at practice. No, this guy's not doing this because of NIL. No, this isn't, just, hold on. I get it.
Up and run with it.
Clickbait material's great. I get it. But when you're saying things that are not true, and that happened last year and a couple of years ago while I'm at spring break or spring camp, and I'm reading some of this stuff, and I'm like, bro, what are y'all talking about? No, not true. Anyways, all right. So last 2 games, what do you think, Travis? Does Arkansas, do you like them to split? Do you like them to win out? You shouldn't have a shot against Vanderbilt.
My gut says they'll split them. My heart says they'll win them both. You know me. If I'm betting my house on it, I'm saying we're going to lose to Vandy and we'll beat Mississippi State.
Okay. So splitting them. So then you think they need to win 1 or 2 in the tournament?
At minimum 1. I think they would need to win 2 in the tournament. If they lose to Vandy, they need to win 2, I think.
Yeah.
Unless they want to play in, they could still make it or play into the tournament maybe if they split them and win 1 or something like that. Or I don't know if they split those and lose in the first round of the tournament, we might be seeing NIT.
Someone in chat said that Kevin McPherson said he had a source that said Thiero has a torn meniscus. Yeah, so if it's meniscus, he's done for the year.
Great.
Yeah, that's worse than a hyper. Yeah, that's not good.
It's possible. That sucks. They report stuff like that because it's like we don't want people to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure.
That's why they don't tell you anything. They're like, that's like even when Thiero got hurt, they asked Cal like, "Oh, what's up with Thiero?" He's like, "He hurt his back. He's fine."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He hurt his back. That's what he said. He said it was his back.
Leave him alone.
Well, really quick for anyone that wants to get in on this Arkansas Vanderbilt game tomorrow. I don't know if you guys have seen the spread. Travis, have you looked at it?
I have not. Let's see it. Can you pull it up?
Arkansas. So this is BroThrow, sponsor of Tusk Talk with Ty. Use promo code Tusk to get in. Vandy's favorite at 7.
I think that's coming off of the strength of us getting our ass whooped at South Carolina.
Yeah.
Now, did that spread change today by chance? Because they announced just a little bit ago that Thiero is out tomorrow as well.
Well, it just dropped
a
few hours ago, and this was the starting spread. And ESPN might be at like 7.5. Over under at 149.5.
I can't argue without ado. I can't argue with that.
That's a tough one. Yeah,
dude. I mean, maybe we just catch them sleeping. You know what I mean? We just need them to have a really bad game and us to have a decent one, and we'll be fine. You could tell. I think the most frustrating thing when I was watching the South Carolina game, you could tell we were way better than they are.
Oh, you could?
I mean, I could.
They smoked Arkansas.
I thought you at halftime. I was just like, God, I was like, their offense is so bad, but they're kicking our ass. What
Yeah.
is going on?
Yeah.
What is going on?
I
mean, obviously they're the better team because they kicked our ass.
Well, I don't think. See now, hold on.
Well, that's what I was just saying.
No, I'm not. I didn't see anything. Like if I was an outsider, didn't know anything about either of those teams, yeah, I would have said, "Oh, South Carolina's way better than Arkansas for sure." But like total talent, and again, like with what they have, like, not that South Carolina doesn't have one particular really good prospect, but South Carolina head to toe doesn't have the star power that Arkansas has. But it's in games like this where it's just a perfect storm where I think fatigue had set in. You just came off an overtime win, an emotional overtime win. And you've got, like you mentioned earlier, the same 7 guys playing all the damn minutes.
Yeah, it's like playing Iowa in football. Your offense is garbage, but your defense is awesome.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I just thought, especially like their ability to drive straight to the rim, and it's not going to get any better without Adu Thero. Adu Thero, for everything that they say about his offense is true. What we don't talk enough about, the same thing with Nelly Davis. Like, we only want to throw Nelly Davis under the bus because he's not knocking down threes left and right, and he's not scoring. But actually, defensively, there's a reason why he's not going to see the bench. I mean, other than not having depth, but there's a reason why even before this guy was not going to see the bench much. He played really good defense. Really
was Nelly
good.
Not a point guard at FAU?
No.
What did he do there? Was he a 3 guy?
He was a wing.
I thought he was a drive the paint guy at FAU.
Well, he is a drive the paint guy. He's a 2. He was a 2, and I think he could do a little bit of the 2 in the 3. I think he could, I mean,
I was just wondering why he came in and all of a sudden here he's our 3-point threat, like, for the most part. Like, everybody's like, Nelly ain't making shit. You know what I mean? Like, they just stick him on the perimeter. Or maybe that's just where he wants to shoot from.
Well, he wasn't just a 3-point shooter. Yeah, so he wasn't just a 3-point shooter at FAU. He could score. Like, he was I don't know if you want to call him a three-level scorer or not, mid-range, right at the rim or outside in the perimeter. But he could score from anywhere on the floor. And, that tournament run was, he was a big part of that. I think that's just what they were trying to bring here. And then, Cal wanted him to take those shots outside. If it was there, take it, especially if it was uncontested, and then Big Z got hot, and Big Z's going to shoot it no matter what. Cause he doesn't get very many contested shots because he's so damn tall. But
you keep Z in the damn corner on the perimeter. Just keep him there. He'll make one eventually.
Well, I don't know. When he goes cold,
he's just not physical enough to drive it, and his handling is not good enough to get inside. His handling's terrible.
Who's that?
Big Z.
Oh yeah.
My God, I'm like, to be a basketball player, he handles a basketball like about as good as I do, and I'm not good at basketball.
To be fair, he is 7 foot, right? It's rare that you see a center or a 5 or a stretch 4. If I guess that's what we're going to call him. I guess he's a stretch 4. It's not common that you see those guys have great handles. Your bigs are typically the guys with the worst handles, and they can't shoot free throws to save their life. He can at least do that.
He can shoot free throws.
At least he can shoot free throws.
Kid's got a good stroke on him,
Yeah, I'm not as shocked about his handling skills, but I've said the same thing about a couple of players who can't finish at the rim. Like, Arkansas is a horrible layup.
DJ is very bad about that too. DJ can drive in. DJ Wagner, bro, he can drive in the paint, but those damn layups, he misses a lot.
I don't know about that, man. I disagree.
Maybe I got to mix up with somebody else.
I think you got to mix up with somebody else. Wagner's kind of automatic.
Okay, maybe I'm thinking somebody else then.
With Nelly.
Maybe I am thinking of Nelly. I don't know.
Nelly can't.
It seems like they can get all the way through there, and then it always is just like, oh, it was so close. And it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, Nelly Davis can't finish to save his life.
Okay, maybe it's Nelly then.
DJ Wagner is just automatic and smooth. Now, I say that, and you watch against Vanderbilt, he's gonna whip.
They're gonna win the game, Ty. They're gonna win the game.
It's I'm gonna jinx DJ Wagner, but yeah, I've thought Wagner was great at the rim.
All right, if we win tomorrow, I'll come on with you in my studio, not on my stupid phone.
At midnight, you're gonna come on?
Yeah, I don't care. I'm a grown man.
Well, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, it'll be past midnight by the time
we'll just make it like a 45-minute show.
Yeah. It's true. Fair. Yeah.
If we win, I'll come on.
I feel like if we win, hell, I don't know if they cover the 7-point spread. I think I might have to do something.
All right.
Give away one of these cards or something.
If we don't get the shit beat out of us, we'll come on.
Yeah. I always say it. I'm always like, I'm not going to do a post game for that, and then I do it. I'm like, shit, got to do it. But yeah, I'm going to say this again for the record. For anyone who's still listening and who's watching this later on, I don't like them against Vanderbilt. I don't know without a Thero that they go to the tournament. I don't even know what the number is anymore because part of me just doesn't think it matters anymore. The selection committee does take multiple things into consideration. I don't know that Arkansas has the quad one wins short of winning out or winning one and then winning some more in the tournament. I don't know. I just don't think they're there. And I think they're probably going to be left off like Lenardi. He'll come out Friday and I think he's going to leave guys off. Leave Arkansas out. I mean, I could see that happening, especially if they go to Vanderbilt, they get their asses whooped. Like, bro, they're not getting in. Maybe no matter what happens.
That's actually fair. If they take another 20-point loss, that ship might sail. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So
they'll start getting invites to the NIT ready.
Yeah.
Which would suck terribly because we would never hear the end of it.
Yeah, Let me tell you this. I know nobody wants the participation tournament. I get that. But here's the thing. You're going to have, I feel this in my gut, you're going to have several of these guys coming back next year.
Yeah.
I want them to participate in the NIT just for more opportunities to just play together.
I want them to participate in it just so I can watch more basketball.
Well, that too, sure, but like for the following season, listen, they take those games pretty damn serious, right? I mean, they do. Like to fans, it may not matter, but to those players, it's going to matter. Now,
it's still a tournament, dude.
Right.
Man, we would never, as a fan base, we would never hear the end of it from everybody.
What do you mean?
Kentucky fans would be like, I told y'all Cal was going to the NIT. I mean,
yeah, bullshit. They told us he'd make the NCAA tournament and be a one and done. They already moved that goalpost. No, I think they should play because you're going to get a lot of these guys back next year, and it's more opportunities to play. Who cares if you lose? Damn it, we lost. It's not like you're playing in the NCAA tournament. I hear like most years, I always used to say the same thing. To hell with it. Why would you take an NIT bid? Like, no, that's embarrassing. Don't do it.
So A&M took one and they won it.
I don't know the NIT history. I'll be real with you. Yeah, A&M did win it one year, didn't they?
Yeah, I want to say it was when Muss was still here. I think it was a couple years ago.
Yeah, I remember that. I think that was the same year was that the same year they went on that run? The post at the
I'm pretty sure they beat us.
Yeah, well, yeah, they knocked us out of the tournament. They knocked us. They knocked Arkansas out of the SEC tournament.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm all for it, man. Take it and then get better from it. Because again, I think they're going to bring a lot of these guys back. So just saying. I mean, I know people. We can agree to disagree. I know there's going to be people who don't like taking that tournament bid, but
I'll take free basketball.
I'll take it, and you know what? I'll still do post games for it. By God.
That's it.
All right, everybody. Make sure you check out all the links provided for you down below. I do appreciate everyone who stuck around and listened and watched. Football's almost here, man. This spring is going to be big. Can't wait to see these transfers and some of these younger, the freshmen who maybe a couple of them crack the 2 deep. We'll see. They expect a lot of those guys here for spring camp. Iamaliava is going to be here from California. The receiver that came with him, I believe, is expected to be here. So, yeah, this is going to be big. This is going to be a big offseason for Pittman, and this could decide, it starts now.
It might be the last offseason.
For him, it damn sure might be. For Sam Pittman, it might be. So it's important. I know he knows that. Bobby Petrino knows that. These players know that. Like, this has got to be, they got to outperform. Fans are not going to be excited for 6 wins. They're just not. So it starts now. And I'm going to be excited to be there. Hopefully I get to be there and get to cover it. So And then there's Camo. There's his typical womp womp comments.
Hey, I'll
Nothing.
be in that Discord and in that Patreon checking out them clips, man.
I'm gonna be sharing them. Yeah,
or the spring practice clips.
I think if with this, like, I understand not being that excited about, they did win 7 last year, but including the bowl game, I get not being. I don't know. I just love football, and you know what?
Everybody's lying. Everybody gets excited in August.
Yeah, Camo's probably full of shit. Camo, are you full of shit? Are you fibbing to us, man?
Don't respond if yes.
I don't know. I don't know how
my camera.
I don't know how you don't get excited about football in spring. I don't know how you don't. I don't care what you did the year before. Turn the page, baby.
It's the circle of life.
That's right. All right, everybody. Appreciate you again. Travis, thanks for showing up, man. I know you had a busy day. Thanks for being here. Glad you
next time I'll be in my actual studio. That was my bad.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Arkansas wins tomorrow night and you can join the postgame show.
Yeah, boy, we're gonna win. We're gonna win, bro.
Yeah. All right, man.
See
ya. All right, everybody. That is gonna do it. I'll be back. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow night. No idea if I'm gonna do the postgame for that or not. I will be back for sure. I'm planning on doing one more live, probably before the Mississippi State game. I'm trying to get the schedule straightened out to where we can get some people on. Maybe get another visitor or a guest rather to come on and talk a little Razorback basketball, football, whatever, baseball. Hell, I don't know. So yeah, not watching game as of now. You're just gonna pout all off season, man. You're just gonna pout, Camo. Come on now. Peanut Butter Posse. If Edu comes back for SEC tournament and looks good, they'll put Arky in. That's probably fair. It's going to depend on these last 2 games for sure. So, all right. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you sometime this week. Be safe, and I'll see you later on.